Hello and welcome to Gaming Grimoire. In the Dark Souls series, when we hear about inspirations from anime, we often hear of Berserk. However, I have found there is a greater inspiration from a series called Saint Seiya. I am not claiming Dark Souls is a copy of Saints, only that it takes a lot of inspiration from it, and there are multiple events in one that can help shed light on questions in the other. This video will be made with as few spoilers as possible, but I will cover every story arc from the Lost Canvas prequel up to the final story arc of the 1986 original. To do this, I will give the main objective of each arc and one detail, and I will show which part of Dark Souls they inspired. This way everyone who watches the video can still go watch the show and be surprised by the events. Saint Seiya is the story of the warriors of hope who serve the goddess Athena and protect humanity during dangerous times. They have learned to use an energy called cosmos to perform superhuman feats over a long and hard period of training, after which they get an opportunity to take part in a test, having a chance to receive a saint's armor that allows them to use their cosmos to an even greater extent. There are three classes of saints. The lowest is bronze, the middle is silver, and the highest is gold, just like in Orlando. Now that I've set up some basics, let's get started on the story comparison between the entire Dark Souls series and Saint Seiya. With Lost Canvas, all I can say without spoilers is that it's the story about three friends, and it introduces a very important pendant. Only a part of it was made in anime, so after a certain point it's manga only. On to the 1986 original. We start off with introductive arcs, so I will skip ahead a bit and start comparing at the Sanctuary arc. In this arc, the saints have to cross the 12 houses of the Zodiac to get to the Temple of Athena to retrieve a relic of the gods. This arc is a mirror of Orlando, and the detail I will give leaves no doubt, for when we arrive in the Golden Lion House, we find the Golden Lion Saint who uses his cosmos to produce lightning element attacks, while at the same time another saint starts a fight with the most brutal man in Sanctuary. This man was denied saint status because he's too brutal. The comparison with Ornstein and Smo is almost one for one. The following Saints arc is about gathering spherical objects and delivering them to an altar, just like we gather Lord souls and bring them to the Lord vessel. The detail for this arc was separated and later used for DLC for Dark Souls 2, in the form of a Liam Lois. Protecting the city where the altar is located in Saints, there are two tigers. One black tiger, one white tiger. The white tiger has to protect the black tiger from the shadows and remain hidden from everyone but the main priestess of the city. In the next arc, we travel to a land you can only reach by water portal, just like in the opening of DS2. There they have to destroy 8 pillars, just like in DS2, where we light flames on a map for defeating bosses. The final arc I will cover in this video, all I can say without spoilers is that it's about stopping an eternal eclipse. That gives us all 3 Dark Souls titles, main plots, all the way up to Orlando, up to the last kiln fight in DS3. This is not the end of all Saint Seiya references, but everything that was out to view by the time Dark Souls 1 came out. I left out the final movie of the 1986 version, as well as 5 side movies that are not canon for the main show, yet did help inspire Dark Souls, and 2 sequel shows where one is almost a message to Miyazaki saying, "We saw what you did," and will have effects on DS3. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps revitalize the discussion on Dark Souls lore. I will probably do a more detailed series on all the references to Saints in Dark Souls. On a side note, there is a Saints remake by Netflix that might take the cake for worst retelling of a story, and also a 3D movie that has only borrowed names, but is more like some sort of Greek Iron Man. Please ignore these 2 releases, as their makers just seem to have forgotten half or the entire story. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great time.